Hello everyone, my name is Anna. I'm a fantasy writer who sometimes makes videos, and welcome to my Camp NaNoWrimo July vlog! Yay! Yeah, we're just gonna jump right into it. My goal for the month was to do... I needed to start my next draft. I was very intimidated, I was scared, I was excited, I was looking forward to it, I wanted to run away, but we had to start. So, the beginning of draft 2. And I thought for camp it would be a good idea to set the goal of rewriting my first act. And my first act consisted of a prologue and 9 chapters. So I thought that would break it up really nicely. I could do Act 1 in July, Act 2 in August, Act 3 in September. And ooh, man, expectations versus reality. So you will see in the vlog that I very quickly realized that I was not being realistic. I was being very naive, and I thought I was at that point where quality had increased such that time spent on rewrites would decrease. Does that make sense? I thought, I've been through Act 1 so many times, maybe I'm at the point now where I can really start getting through chapters, and I could do something like an act in a month. 9 chapters plus a prologue didn't end up being very humanly possible, but I gave it my best college try. So here we go, let's start the vlog. We kicked off July actually by being in North Carolina. So I was in North Carolina on vacation with my husband's family, and the first, I think, day or 2 of July, we were just driving back across state lines, trying to get back home. So I settled back into our regular routine, back from vacation, back at work, blah blah blah. And then finally got the chance to sit down and start the rewrite. And I think it was July 4th when I finally got to sit down and start writing. Alright, so I have started writing the prologue. It took me such an unbelievable amount of time sitting here to finally start putting words on the paper. It is so intimidating to start a draft. And I just sat here and felt frozen, and just a lot of trying to find the right playlist and looking up a picture for inspiration, and just a lot of mental freaking out. But I started. I've written 2 paragraphs. 2 measly paragraphs, and I'm going very slow because I'm stopping like every couple of words to figure out like, oh, what's the name of the knights in this city? What kind of trees are here in this climate? Like what kind of trees would be here? And just stopping to figure out like all the little things that I completely passed over in the previous draft. So I'm a little concerned about how slow I'm going. Hopefully as I get more comfortable and stop being intimidated, it will go faster, but I really would love to rewrite this prologue today. Yikes. Because I've got, this many chapters to do. Update on using Campfire so far. I am really liking it. You have a lot of formatting that you can use up here, which is really nice, coming from Dabble, which is pretty bare bones. I like how on this side I can have like a picture of the location, so I can kind of get that in my mind. I have all the notes that I made from my reverse outline of what's happening and what I need to change. And then they have a navigator pane where I can open up another module that I've made. And one thing I did was I made my timeline. That was something I did last month as part of my revision prep. So having that open is really nice as well. So that's handy. I'm liking it. Enough procrastinating. Hello, it is a little bit later on the 4th, and I'm still working on my prologue. I got about 2,000 words in and then made some cookies, and Stress ate one of those, and just generally fretted about how slow I am writing. But I really want to try and finish this prologue today if I can. And I think with another 500 words or so, we might be there. So I am on Enhanced stream right now. I've got my draft here, my first draft down here that I'm reading. I've got my campfire, which I'm actually really loving. It's okay that we're going slow. We're still going.
Whether it's magic or technology that just like comes out of nowhere. I'm like, yeah. How much should have like weight?
Hi everybody, welcome to Saturday the 9th, I think. How's it going? I haven't really talked to you very much this week. I put off writing pretty much the whole week. So it's a really good thing that this weekend there's another writeathon happening, and that is very well timed because I have a lot to do. So I am streaming twice today, and I actually already did my first stream of the morning with Michael and Sarah, and that went really well. I finally broke new ground on chapter 1, and I think I got about 1,300 words of that written, so chapter 1 has kind of been put down, and now I just want to take my time going through it in detail and really making sure that I'm hitting all the points that I identified in my reverse outline of stuff that needs to change, stuff that needs to go in there. Yeah. I'm still overall feeling really intimidated by the rewrite and wondering if I'm really making things better. And, like writing very slowly. But I'm hoping, I don't know. With the prologue, it did get, more fun the more times I went over it. I think I did like a couple of passes over it, and with every pass you find more places to layer in tone and atmosphere, and those sorts of things are really fun. That's like my favorite part. So I'm trying to just hold on and remember that like the first pass, is going to be about plot, about info dump. And the next passes that I do in this chapter will be, all the fun stuff. Hopefully that remains true. And we'll have some more fun with chapter 1 for today and chapter 2 tomorrow. Well, it's Camp NaNoWrimo, which means I had to order more of my favorite writing stickers. I'm so excited because I think they are now vinyl, which I loved the paper versions anyway, but I think they're even better now. I'm so excited. These are from the Etsy shop Talmico. I'll link them below, but these are my most favorite writing stickers, and I pretty much only use these in my bullet journal.
Skywatchers, this is it. This is the day we get the first science images back from the James Webb Space Telescope. All right, here we go. Okay, so the first image is a deep field. And it's also a deep field with a cluster. So why don't we walk through this just a little bit? We can't take blank sky. Everywhere we look, there's galaxies everywhere. There's just a sharpness and a clarity we've never had. And so we can look at, if we zoom in on this image, and I encourage you as you grab this image at home, like zoom in.
Also include this in things that writers have to Google. Things that are blunt. I was trying to make a metaphor and I couldn't come up with anything. Today is Wednesday, the 13th. Last night I finished chapter 2. It felt really awesome. I kind of started out yesterday rough, drained, and really unmotivated, and then beating myself up for being unmotivated and just feeling kind of bad that I hadn't really jumped into a good gear yet this month, and the month is already halfway over. So I kind of was feeling down, and then last night I had the best writing session I've had all month. I finished revising the big scene in chapter 2 and also took out the last scene in that chapter and replaced it with something else, so I got to draft for a little bit, and the scene that I drafted I really like. It was just really satisfying and reminded me that writing always makes me feel better. If I'm having a bad day, sitting down and writing makes me feel like I did something for myself. It feels like self-care sometimes. So last night was really good, and ready to keep chugging. We're gonna try and film from the hammock, and hopefully it is not too rocky. It's going okay. I'm still solidly in the middle of chapter 3. I had fun drafting a new scene to replace something that just wasn't working in the beginning of chapter 3, so we just wrote something completely new to go in its place, and that was good and fun. And then as soon as I had to go back and start working on a chapter I already had, or a scene I already had, stopped being quite so fun. I thought it was going to be the opposite. I thought that I really wouldn't enjoy drafting any more new stuff, and that I would have more fun revising, and it's kind of swapped. I'm catching a crap ton of passive voice. I'm catching a lot of the same sentence structure. I'm using a lot of complex sentences, lots of independent clauses with, I think, subordinate clauses at the end. So I'll put an example of one on the screen, but I'm using that same sentence structure over and over and over again. And so I'm just trying to break that up and put some rhythm into the prose. I think writing is all hearing. So I'm just going extremely slow for that reason, just working on sentence structure and word choice and passive voice, in addition to all the things like setting and atmosphere, and tone and all that. So yep, we're still in the middle of chapter 3, and I think I'll be rewriting the inciting incident tonight. So we shall see how that goes. We're doing something really exciting. I'm gonna go get my library card, because I still haven't got one since we moved to Atlanta. So I'm gonna go check out our local branch today, and maybe it's a small little branch, so I'm hoping that they'll have a place for me to sit and get some work done, so maybe we'll also get some writing done. But yeah, mission library card. Let's go. That branch was pretty small. It was just like a one-room library with like 2 tables out in the middle of everybody, just a couple of shelves. Like, this definitely isn't a library branch that I'll come to browse. I'll probably use it for like interlibrary loan and then just go be picking things up all the time. And I didn't really feel like I could sit down and write because, I don't know, it was just out in the front of the librarians, and I wanted to sneak some snacks whenever I wanted and just didn't feel like camping out. I think I'm gonna go check out a big library that's actually closer to me. I don't live in city limits, so I can't get a card there, but I'm thinking that they'll have much more for me to browse and hopefully a little hidden spot where I can just get tucked away. I'd really like to get some books to help me with world building, maybe on knights or military structures, and also on Portugal and Italy, which are 2 places that I'm kind of basing my capital city on. So I would love to like have some tangible travel books that I could like take pictures of some of the pages. Maybe it will give me some ideas. So let's go to library number 2. Okay, I'm back from the library. I probably ended up spending an hour just going through both of those travel books. I had one from Italy and one from Portugal, and they were so cool. They didn't have a lot of pictures, but I got an idea of lots of different landmarks and cities that I can go look into further that kind of looked like different places in my city. So I feel like my city is going to be just one big mashup of like Lisbon, Portugal, and a bunch of different Italian landmarks and palaces and things like that. I just love how historical Europe is and how long humans have been around doing stuff is kind of crazy. And like there was this one story about this one holy site in Italy where they had taken dirt from Jerusalem and shipped it over and laid it on the ground and built this like holy site on top of it. And it's just a good reminder like to look to history for these sorts of things, because it just feels so unique. And like they say, truth is stranger than fiction, and sometimes truth is cooler than fiction. It's time for lunch. I'm pretty hungry, so we're home now to make something to eat, and then I think this afternoon we're just gonna write and hopefully finish chapter 3. My goodness, I really need to finish chapter 3.
Yeah, so that's where we are now. It's pretty good at drop 0. I think it's okay. It's okay to pull in. I forgot what it's like to be like so intensely following a workout goal
Hello friends. I just feel like I needed to come on and try and sort through some of my thoughts a little bit. My thoughts are going the targets I've set for myself are very unrealistic, and I have done it to myself once again. But not surprising, because I do this a lot, and I'm not mad at it, because if I don't have a goal and I'm not aiming at something, then I'm not going to end up as far as I am. Let me say this a way that makes sense. The work that I am going to get done this month is awesome, and I probably wouldn't have done that much. So I'm not mad at it, and you know, the thing that I'm realizing is that it's going pretty well. It's just not what I thought. I have about 15,000 words into the draft right now, which is, you know, not anything to sneeze at. That's quite a good chunk of words, but it's just taking a while. Like, I'm still working on chapter 4. I think I'm gonna finish chapter 4 tonight, but it's just, the chapters are going pretty slow. I'm taking my time. I'm kind of hitting up against that feeling of like, don't rush me. Don't rush me. Because I want to do it right. I want to make sure I'm really happy with every scene before I move on. That's the whole point of this draft. I'm thinking further down the road and thinking, okay, when I finish Act 1, I'm giving Act 1 to Luke, and I think I'm probably also going to give Act 1 to Hudson, so it would be nice to take a pause there and see what they think about Act 1 and make sure that I've laid my foundation in the way that I want. So why rush? I'm not gonna accomplish this 1 act per month thing that I had to try and finish this by September, and I just need to let go. It doesn't mean that I'm not doing a good job, because I really am doing a good job. You know, I've been writing almost every single day. You can see all my typewriters, and I'm getting through these big chunky scenes, 1,000 words at a time, 1,300, 1,700, etc., etc. I'm on vacation next week, and that could either mean that I'll get more writing done or a lot less writing done. I don't know. I'm just gonna spend a week at the lake with my family, just processing, just having that moment, as I do, where I regret shooting for the moon, but happy that I'm landing among the stars, to put it in a very cheesy manner. Yeah. And I think the other piece of it is that Act 1 is the cleanest. It's the best act compared to the others. And it's only going to get harder from here on out. Act 2 and Act 3 are going to require a lot more creativity and reworking and rewriting than Act 1. There are some sections in Act 1 that I've drafted new scenes, and there are many sections in Act 1 where I've just, you know, almost verbatim, with some minor line editing, been able to keep scenes. And that is going to be less and less the case as I go further into the book. If doing Act 1 in a month was hard, doing Act 2 or Act 3 in a month is probably very unrealistic. The whole reason I wanted to do this draft by September was so that I could do a new project for Nano, and I think I still will. I very much have my heart set on starting another project and giving myself a little bit of a break. So I think I still will take a break in November and work on something contemporary, but I just wanted it to be kind of a clean break, you know, but I don't think we're gonna get that. Flexibility is key, adjustment is key. You just have to take in the information, adjust from there, keep moving forward. I'm happy with the amount of work that I've been getting done. I've been very committed to it, and that's all I need to do. That's all I need to do. I've been beating myself up saying like, oh, you're not doing, you know, what you wanted to do, you're not committed, you're not blah blah blah. But then I look at this, and the facts don't lie. Facts don't lie. I've been freaking writing. It's just the chapters aren't getting crossed off.
Woo! Yay! Woo woo!
Today's July 31st, the last day of camp and the last day of July, and we are very overdue for a check-in. I didn't write on vacation, and it was great. It was lovely, and I loved taking that break. And I don't know what I was thinking, trying to rewrite 9 chapters and a prologue in 1 month. I want to stop and fix every problem that I can identify before I move on. Like, I'm really not wanting to leave anything for later. A lot of times that means I'll finish a chapter and then go back, prologue 1, 2, 3, etc., and smooth things out. For every change that I make, there's a little ripple effect or a little foreshadowing or a little whatever that goes throughout. So, 4 chapters and the prologue have been rewritten. That is very far from where I thought, but it's also quite good. I really have no complaints. Like I always say, I aimed too far, but I landed somewhere that I'm pretty happy with, so I guess that's my system. Hi everyone, welcome to August. I'm here to just wrap up the vlog and let you know that I'm still in the middle of chapter 5. Yeah, I'm just continually learning lessons about revision and rewrites and how long those things can take and kind of the pace that I want to set. And turns out that pace is kind of slow. I'm really proud of all the work that I got done this week. I think I had a lot of good work days while I was not on vacation. The last 2 weeks of the month were kind of, non-existent. But as far as my regular writing time, I was very committed, lots of butt in chair time, doing a lot of careful thinking and planning and trying to tie a lot of shit together. And I love it. I'm really enjoying the way that the Act 1 is turning out. It's just taking time. I hope that you don't mind watching a vlog where I make slow but important progress. And if you have any experience with a draft 2 or draft 3, please let me know that I am not alone and that this is the point where the nitty-gritty really starts to pile up and starts to matter. And, let me know what that was like for you. I'm gonna stop setting goals on this rewrite. And it's just gonna take the amount of time that it's gonna take. And we'll have a grand old time working on something contemporary in November for Nano. But when it comes to this rewrite, I am just gonna go at my own pace. Yeah, that's the update on that. I did want to go through a couple of stats. For this vlog, I wrote my prologue and chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, and most of 5. This section in the zero draft was 12,621 words. First draft, so the big rewrite I did last year, I boosted this section up to 18,217. For the second draft, where it sits right now, again, I'm not quite done with chapter 5, but this section of prologue through chapter 5 is 17,954. So it's going to end up being just a little bit longer than it was in the previous draft. It's very comforting because I have been a little afraid that I was taking too many words to get through this part of the book and that it was getting too long. But when I look at the word counts, they're actually pretty similar to how it was in the last draft, and I was really happy with the size of the last draft. I think that's a good sign that I have taken a lot of stuff out when I needed to replace it with other things. So I was pretty ruthless about little scenes, little interludes, little transitions that I had in this section. If they weren't accomplishing anything specific, I tossed them. And so the new scenes that I have added have taken the place of those things. Yeah, I think that was a good strategy. The section feels so full of meaty content now that I think that's why I was afraid it was getting too long. But when I look at the stats and things, that's actually not the case. It's pretty much right on target. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I think that brings us to the end of this vlog. Let me know how your Camp NaNoWrimo went. I know it's already been a couple of weeks since the event ended, but I'd love to hear what you were working on and how it went for you. And thanks for watching this vlog. I'm really excited for fall. We're gonna have a great NaNoWrimo season. And thanks for being here. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!